Hello and welcome to another neural net and TensorFlow tutorial. My name's Ian, and today we're going to finally start getting into neural nets. So here we have a very simple neural net, and what we have is a three-layer net. So our first layer, it's going to be our input layer. Now the output is going to be our output layer. And then our middle layer is going to be our hidden layer. Now, I just designed this myself. We can have, this hidden layer can be any size, and also we can have as many as we want. I'm just doing one just to fit it into the board. So, but we get to determine the size of our hidden layer and how many we do. We don't get to decide our input layer, because that has to fit our data. The column size of our data has to equal the size of our input layer, and our output layer has to equal the column size of our labels. So everything else we have complete control over. Now it's going to look a little confusing with all these lines. It's really not. All this shows is matrix multiplication. So what we're going to do is we get our input layer, and then we're going to do some calculations, and that's going to output a matrix of data, and we're going to send that output into our hidden layer, and we do the same thing, and then we get our and we send the output of our hidden layer, and we're going to put that into our output layer, and then that's going to be the answer of our function, what we send out. So what do we compute in the layer? Well, we do x multiply by our weight. We add a bias to it, and then what we do is we put the whole thing into a activation function, whatever that is. Now activation function is just a nonlinearity. It's to kind of break up the data. It's going to help us train it. You're going to see there's a couple of things you do, like the simplest one is like a ReLU, where you just take out the negative numbers. It's going to look something like this. Okay, but we'll get into that later. Now, how we determine the size of our next layer is by the weight we multiply with. So we have a 2 matrix, so let's go n by 2 matrix. Now what we want to do is our output, we want it to be a n by 3 matrix, our hidden layer. So how we do that, our weight matrix is going to have a size of 2 by 3. And this is going to output an n by 3 matrix, which is what we want. So our column length is going to be equal to 3, and we can input that into our next layer. Then we'll add a bias and then activation function button. That's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to do the code, put it into TensorFlow next, and hopefully some things that didn't make sense will make a little more sense then. But for now, that's everything today. Thanks for watching.